Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet these cute flower granny squares. So for my squares I used a 4mm crochet hook and DK weight yarn. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your granny square you want to start off by making a magic circle. So to do a magic circle, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once. And you then want to wrap the yarn back over your finger to create a cross, like that. You then want to take your crochet hook and go underneath the first loop of the cross, and you may need to pull it up a little bit, but go underneath this first loop. And then using your crochet hook, pick up the second loop of the cross and pull it through. And you can then take your finger out, and there you have a magic circle, and we are ready to begin round one. So we are now on to round one of our granny square, and to begin this round you want to chain one. And this chain one does not count as a stitch. This just locks our magic circle into place. So now in round one, we are going to do 24 single crochets into the magic circle. So 24 single crochets. So to do a single crochet, go down into the magic circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So there we have one single crochet, and now do a second one in the exact same way, then a third single crochet into the magic circle and a fourth, and just keep going until you have 24. So I have just finished working those 24 single crochets into the magic circle for round one. And now to finish off this round, we need to close up our magic circle and join. So to close up the magic circle, you want to take this tail or this end here and simply pull this nice and tight. So pull this as tight as you can, and that will close up the magic circle. And now to join, we are going to do a slip stitch into the first single crochet that we worked. So here is the first single crochet, and if you're not sure which stitch to go into, then you can count back 24 stitches. So count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way around to 24, and that will take you to the stitch that you need to do a slip stitch into. So insert your hook into that stitch, the first single crochet, and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So work a slip stitch. And there we have finished round one, and this is the center of our little flower. And now we're ready to move on to round two. So we are now on to round two, and to begin this round you want to chain one, and this chain one does not count as a stitch. So now we're going to start off by working one single crochet down into this first stitch here, so into the first stitch that our chain one comes out of. But in round two, we are just going to work into the front loop of every single stitch. So if you have a look at our stitches here, we have a front loop which is here, and then a back loop, then a front loop and a back loop, and a front loop and a back loop. And usually when we crochet, we go through both of these loops. We insert our hook through both the front and back loop. But in this round, and this round only, we are only going to work in the front loop of every stitch. So we will only go through this loop here, and this front loop here, and this one here. So we're going to start off by doing 1 single crochet down into the first stitch, working into the front loop only. So here is our first stitch that our chain 1 comes out of, and we have a front loop and a back loop. And I'm just going to go into the front loop, and this first one can be a little bit tricky. So just go through that front loop and work 1 single crochet. And now we're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to work 1 half double crochet. So yarn over and go into the next stitch, the front loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 half double crochet into that stitch. And now into the next one here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go into the front loop of this next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into the front loop of that stitch. So now yarn over and go back down into the exact same stitch and do a second double crochet, and then yarn over and go back down into the same stitch again and do a third double crochet. So there we have 3 double crochets all into the front loop of that stitch. And now into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next stitch and do 1 half double crochet. So there we have done 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next one, 3 double crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into the next one, and we just worked into the front loop of each stitch only. And we're going to repeat that again and again and again for round 2. We're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, and then 1 half double crochet. Then we're going to repeat that again. Single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, then another half double crochet, working into the front loop only all the way around. So I'm going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, then 3 double crochets into the next one, and then finally a half double crochet into the next stitch. And there we have our next repetition, and just keep repeating that all the way around. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 2, and I have finished off by doing 1 half double crochet into this last stitch at the end. And you can see this has created our flower, and you should now have 6 petals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals. And then to finish off round 2 and to finish our flower, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first single crochet that we did. So here is the first single crochet, go into this stitch and do a slip stitch. And now you can fasten off, so pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later. And now we're ready to move on to round 3 of our granny square, and this is going to be the first round of the back of our granny square, or the main part. So we are now on to round 3, And to begin this round, we need to attach our new yarn onto the back of our flower. So what you want to do is you want to take your flower like this with the right side or the front of the flower facing up, and you just want to turn it over like this. So don't completely flip it over, just turn kind of one half over like that. And there you will be able to see these stitches, and these are the back loops of the stitches from round 1. So in round 2 we just worked into the front loop, and you can see these stitches which we have left here are the back loop of the stitches from round 1, and those are the stitches that we are going to work into for round 3. So take your flower like this with the front facing up, just flip over one little bit of it, and it doesn't matter where you go as it's just one big circle. Flip over one section of it so that you can see some of the stitches, the back loops. And then you want to insert your hook into one of the stitches. It doesn't matter which one you choose, so I'm just going to go with this one. Insert your hook into one of those stitches. Take your new yarn, place it over the end of your crochet hook, pull it through, and then chain 1 to secure it. So chain 1 to secure it. So there we have attached our new yarn onto the back of our flower, and now we're ready to move on to round 3. So to begin round 3, we're going to go down into this very first stitch here, so the stitch that we just attached our yarn into, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over and go down into this first stitch and do 1 double crochet. Then yarn over, go back down into the same stitch and do a 2nd double crochet, and then do a 3rd double crochet back down into that same stitch. And now you want to chain 1, so chain 1 and skip 2 stitches. So we're going to skip this next stitch here and then this next one. So we're skipping 1, then 2 stitches. And now into the next stitch we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over, skip those 2 stitches and go into the next stitch and do 3 double crochets all into this one. Like that. And now chain 1 and skip the next 2 stitches. So I'm skipping 1 and 2. Then into the next stitch, go into this one and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2 and 3, all into that stitch. Then chain 1 and skip 1, 2 stitches, and just repeat that all the way around for round 3. Do 3 double crochets into 1 stitch, chain 1 and skip 2 stitches, 3 double crochets into the next one, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, all the way around. So I have just finished working that all the way around for round 3. So I did 3 double crochets here, chained 1 and then skipped these last 2 stitches. And if you have a look at our work, you should have 8 sets of 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And you can see we have worked into the back of the flower like that, and we are creating the back or the main part of our granny square. So I have done 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and now to finish off we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet, go into this stitch and work a slip stitch. And now you can fasten off, so pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later. And now we're ready to move on to round 4. And as you go, you may need to keep pulling this center end tight to close up the middle of your flower. But once you weave that end in and make sure it's nice and secure, your flower won't keep coming undone in the center. So we are now on to round 4 of our granny square. And in this round, we're going to be turning our circle, which we have here, into a square shape. So to do that, we need to add in 4 corners and 4 sides. So we're going to start off this round by attaching our yarn into any of the chain 1 spaces from last round. So you could go into this space, this one, this one, this one. It doesn't matter, it's completely up to you. I'm going to go into this space here. So just insert your hook into this space and take your new yarn, so I'm going with the same colour as I used before, place it over the end of your crochet hook, pull it through and then chain 1 to secure it, like that. So there we have attached our new yarn and we're ready to move on with the rest of round 4. So we're going to start off by going down into this first space here that we just attached our yarn into and working a corner. So when we do a corner, we are going to do 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and then 3 more double crochets all into the same space here, into the same chain 1 space. So yarn over and go down into this space and do 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. And now you want to chain 2, chain 1 and 2, and then go back down into the same space again and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. So there we have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets all into that same space there, and we have created our first corner. So there we have our very first corner, and now we're going to move on to the next chain 1 space here, and this space is going to become a flat side, so one of the 4 sides of our square. And whenever we work a side, we are just going to do 3 double crochets into the space. So yarn over, go down into the chain 1 space and do 3 double crochets all into this space, like that. So there we have done a corner into the first space, which was 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And then we did a flat side into the next space, and that was just 3 double crochets. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 4. So into the next space here, the next chain 1 space, we're going to do a corner, and then into this next space we're going to do a side, then we're going to do a corner, then a side, then a corner, then a side. So we're alternating between corners and sides all the way around. And whenever we do a corner, we do this. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets all into the same space. And whenever we do a side, we just do 3 double crochets into the space. So into this next space here, do a corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, then 3 more double crochets into that space, and then into the next space here we're going to do a flat side, so that is just 3 double crochets into the space. 1, 2 and 3, and just continue that all the way around. Into this next space we'll do a corner, then a side, then a corner, then a side, all the way around. So I have just finished working that all the way around for round 4. So I finished off by doing 3 double crochets into this last space at the end to create my last side, my 4th one. And now to finish off, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet. Insert your hook into this stitch and do a slip stitch. And now you can fasten off, so pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later. And now we're ready to move on to round 5, which is the final round of our granny square. So to begin round 5, we are going to begin by attaching our new yarn into one of the corners. So it doesn't matter which corner you choose. I'm just going to choose this one here. And you want to insert your hook into the middle of that corner, into the chain 2 space. And then take your new yarn, place it over the end of your hook, pull it through and chain 1. So just attach your yarn in the same way as we have done before. So now round 5 is very similar to round 4. We're going to be using the same sets of stitches, corners and sides, but in this round the only difference is that each side is going to have an extra space to work in. So in every corner, so here, here, here and here, each of the 4 corners, we are going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, just as we did last round. But last round, for a flat side, we just worked 3 double crochets into one space. But in this round, we have 2 spaces to work into. So one here and one here. And in each of those spaces, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So we're going to do a corner into the corner here, then we're going to do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets for this side, then we're going to do a corner into this next corner, then 3 double crochets into this space and 3 into this one for the next side, a corner into this space, then 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, a corner, then 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets to finish. So it's exactly the same as last round, it's just that each side has one extra space to work into. So we're going to start off by going down into this first space here and doing a corner. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Like that, and then into this next space here, do 3 double crochets, And then go into this next space and do the same thing into this one. 3 double crochets into this space. Like that. And now we have reached the next corner. So do a corner into this one, then 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and just continue to work that all the way around for this round. Once you have finished working that all the way around for round 5, you want to work a final slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round and fasten off. And then you want to go ahead and weave all of your ends into the back of your granny square and make sure that you pull the center tight before you weave that end in. So weave in all the ends and you will then have finished your granny square. So then depending on what you want to make, if you want to make a blanket or a cushion cover or a bag, you can make lots and lots of things with granny squares. You want to make the number of squares that you need. So I have just done a little sample blanket here, which I will probably use as a cushion cover. So I have just done 6 granny squares. And then you want to go ahead and join them. And I have a tutorial on my channel already showing how I like to join my granny squares. And there are lots and lots of different methods you can use, but I have a tutorial showing my favourite method, and I will leave a link to that tutorial in the description box below this video. So you can join them in whatever way you like, but that is the way that I like to do it. So join your granny squares, and then if you have done a blanket, you can add a border. So I just did a single crochet border here. So I just worked 1 single crochet into every single stitch around, and then you will have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos, and in the description box below this video I will leave a link to where you can find my Twitter account. So if you would like to go and follow me on there, I always like to post updates and pictures of upcoming tutorials, and I would love to see photos of your crochet work on Twitter as well. And in the description box I will also leave a link to where you can find some of my written patterns if you are interested. And thank you again for watching. Bye!